Creamer Media's Mining Weekly is interviewing Juan van der Merwe, the General Manager of Maelgwyn Mineral Services Africa, a company that is advancing sustainable and innovative mineral processing technology services to the continent of Africa. In what respects does Maelgwyn Mineral Services Africa make mineral processing sustainable and innovative?
At our organization, we've taken sustainability and innovation and put that into advanced mineral processing technologies that improve metal recovery. In doing that, we've developed a Metallurgical Services department that spearheads this effort. In conducting metallurgical test work in our laboratory, we do on-site audits and ongoing optimization evaluation to ensure we position these technologies effectively. So our Aachen high-shear reactors and pneumatic flotation devices were developed to enhance metal recovery, and coincidentally the Aachen reactor also reduces cyanide consumption in all of these gold circuits typically found across the world. Now, to address this, the ESG component, combining these technologies and our technical services offering, we're able to comply with some of the rigorous components that are put out there in terms of new standards that we need to comply with in ESG today.
How does Maelgwyn Mineral Services Africa go about increasing gold recovery and reducing residue grades?
So this is by deploying the correct advanced oxidative technologies, which enhances the leach amenability in a typical gold circuit. The Aachen high-shear reactor was developed to enhance the oxygen mass transfer efficiency in these circuits, thereby rapidly increasing the kinetics and ultimately increasing the overall gold yield that you can attain. By correctly considering the different ore characteristics, we're able to position these technologies in the right position in the flow sheets, ultimately giving the client the benefit of maximizing gold recovery.
And I hear the word kinetics. What is the benefit of accelerating leach kinetics in gold cyanidation?
Well, quite simply, by accelerating leach kinetics, we're enhancing the gold dissolution profile in a conventional leaching circuit, thereby reducing its reliance on the available residence time. Ultimately, a client can put through more material through their plant, not sacrificing recovery at the same time.
Why is reduced cyanide consumption advantageous?
So cyanide is possibly still the most robust technology in gold dissolution today. However, it comes with the downfall of environmental risks, the risk to the employees working with the reagent, not to mention the high cost associated with mining and processing with cyanide. Our technology can address this by reducing the demand on this lixiviant, optimizing the leach conditions by oxygenating efficiently, and also doing away with most of the high cyanosides or cyanide consumers, being iron and sulfur species.
Why is Aachen technology featuring so predominantly?
Well, the modern gold circuit has become synonymous with the introduction of Aachens to support the leaches kinetically. However, we're also considering using the same technology in other industries. Currently, we're doing quite a bit of R&D work within the copper or base metal space, considering the cobalt potentials, and also in energy-related mineral beneficiation, looking at lithium, in some cases manganese, and even uranium.
And you know, Aachen and Immerflot pop up. So tell us how Aachen and your Immerflot pneumatic flotation technology work in tandem.
It's interesting, both these technologies came forth from developing aeration devices, being effective and efficient. The Aachens found its niche in chemical dissolution or leaching, whereas the flotation devices were initially developed targeting specifically fine particle recoveries. If we then consider how to aptly apply these technologies, that's why our Met Services division plays a fundamental role. Firstly, in understanding the ore mineralogy, what we're dealing with, and how to tailor call it a development program to establish the minerals beneficiation process flow diagram and where to position our own technologies within these frameworks. Both devices, as I said, developed out of the same technology, called it 30 years ago by Dr. Rainer Imhoff, and that was aimed at specifically designing systems that are highly efficient for aeration.
What are the general lifespans of your offerings, and to what extent do they need ongoing care and attention?
Both technologies were designed by German ingenuity, considering operational simplicity and robustness. If we consider the Aachen reactor, for example, it has no moving parts, which allows minimum intervention to maintain these units effectively. If we consider the remote locations where we operate, it's fundamental to being successful. Our dedicated teams, though, that we have in-house traverse the African continent on a regular basis to support, maintain, and to ensure these units are serviced adequately. We have a dedicated supply and logistics team operating out of Randburg that supply all our components and spare parts on a regular basis.
And finally, Juan, what is the big takeaway?
Well, the big takeaway for me is that Maelgwyn Mineral Services Africa offers a transformative technology offering in the Aachens and pneumatic flotation technologies. Along with that comes our Metallurgical Services division that really dovetails all of this together in an offering that can assist our clients to effectively enhance their metal recoveries, to reduce their cost component in reagent consumption, as well as the environmental impact. This dovetails with our own vision and commitment to technical excellence, environmental stewardship, and a driven component to innovation.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, speaking to Maelgwyn Mineral Services Africa General Manager, Juan van der Merwe.